I think the biggest challenge that I had in my career was myself. I know different people have different images of me. I always struggled growing up with low self-esteem. I always thought I wasn't good enough. I'll never be successful. And I worked very hard, and I thought, how will I ever compete with these guys? And so I ended up doing well in school. And then I went to a postdoc, and I thought, wow, this group is so high-powered. How could I ever compete with these folks? I'm not on their level. And I ended up competing with them. And then I remember when I was applying for academic positions, I thought, how will I ever get a job? I was doing a postdoc at Stanford, and I had people around me that I felt were much better than me. They were much more experienced. They knew much more chemistry than me. How will I ever get a job when I'm competing with them for the same jobs? And I got 7 offers. Just about every place that I went, I ended up getting an offer. And so, I succeeded in that. And then I remember after I got my position, I thought, will I ever succeed? Will I ever get these grants? And at each phase, my wife was there. And she would remind me, she said, I know you're going to be successful. I know you're going to be able to do it. And she encouraged me, and she believed in me. And at each phase, I did it. And at each phase, I excelled. So I would say that the biggest challenge was overcoming my own inferiority, my own low self-esteem. That was probably the biggest challenge that I've had. And my wife, Shireen, was always the one who was there, who was encouraging me. And my kids, I had children. My wife and I got married when we were both 22. By 24, we had our first child. And I have 4 children. And so all through my early career, I had little kids. And little kids brought me back to life. They just, I'd come home sometimes discouraged. A grant proposal wasn't funded. But my kids were still there to call me daddy. And I could go on. And my wife was still there telling me, I know you're going to be successful. So this probably the hardest thing to overcome was myself.